Good evening. I am Brian O'Connor, Chairman of the Water Pollution Control Authority. It is Thursday, June 30th, 2025. The time is now 5:31, and I'm calling this meeting into order. We have several meetings tonight, so I think it would be good that we do the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Aurelia, if you don't mind. Thank you. Second item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. I am looking for a motion to approve the minutes from the special meeting held on May 29th, 2025.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move to approve the minutes of the May 29th, 2025 meeting.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Mr. Aurelia, seconds. Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Ms. Shake.
thank you. I'd like to offer an amendment just for correcting a clerical issue under old business, 6.2. It should read to establish and/or revise charges in connection with and the use of the sewage system. Residential rate, $569 per annum. Commercial rate, $7.13 per 100 cubic strike yards. Add feet.
Thank you, Ms. Shake. If you don't mind, I'm going to refer this to Attorney Marino.
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's my understanding that there is a scrivener's error in the minutes, and I believe in order to avoid ambiguity in the future, there was a manner in which this matter could be corrected that I discussed with Mr. Glad, and rather come from me, I would simply request that if he make a motion to correct that, to correct the minutes to address that scrivener's error. Yeah, Ms. Shake, you were ahead of the ball, and I thank you for that. You read my mind.
Oh, you're welcome. So we just need then, if, I'm not the chair, so Mr. Chair, if you want to.
So I think, Mr. Chair, at this point, there's been no action. This motion made and seconded. We're at discussion, so we're only in discussion points. But if you allow Mr. Glad to address the matter, I think we can get through this in a few seconds.
I just made a motion to amend, with all due respect. I don't know if you heard me say
Yeah,
that.
that's, so if...
It was a motion to amend the minutes.
Okay,
So
if there's a second,
we're looking for a second.
right, and if there's no second, then it will fail for failure of a second.
Correct.
I second.
Okay, we have a second on the motion to change the minutes. So now it's open for discussion. Mr. Glad?
Mr. Chair, I think Ms. Shake is correct. We need to update these minutes. She is not wrong in that. I think that it needs to instead be a motion to strike that after that language, and then when we move to old business to then vote to correct this scrivener's error, so we make sure that it's appropriately done as old business rather than amending the minutes, because the minutes are, that's what it was on the minutes. We need to strike it and then re-vote on it, basically. Does that make sense?
So my motion was to strike the word yards and replace it with feet. That was the motion.
Correct, but I believe that we're voting on minutes, and so...
Just as a point of order, are you saying we can't make a motion to amend the minutes? We should be able to do that.
Right, it's a, are there any corrections, amendments, or errors in the minutes? You've pointed out such, and you're asking that the minutes be amended to reflect what...
Correct.
And so, yes, Mr. Chair, there is a motion that's been seconded, and the body should take action on that motion. the body can vote in favor of the amendment or can vote to deny. If they vote to deny the motion, then the discussion can proceed in accordance with what I had said, that Mr. Glad and I had discussed the matter. Again, these are minutes to capture what was done at last month's at that particular meeting, and we're just trying to make sure that those minutes capture it correctly and accurately.
Which is what I'm trying to do.
With that being said, are you okay with,
Well, I think we have to address the motion to amend. So I think there should be a vote on that.
Can we ask council a question?
Yes.
Would the way that Ms. Shake phrased it be appropriate to amend to fix the Scribner's error, or is there, do you believe that it is not the appropriate way because of its essence, because of the nature of the error? I guess that's the question.
Right, well, and this is where, again, we can get into an hours-long conversation over the minutes. The purpose of the minutes are to accurately collect what was stated at, or what occurred at the specific meeting. I believe the action that we're trying to address occurred at a different point of the meeting, all right, not at this specific point. So yes, but no, right? Because let me pull up the minutes. I'm sorry, I just got onto. I'm having computer issues here is my issue, and so on my distraction. I'm sorry.
so
Go ahead.
while Attorney Marino is looking at, the Scribner's error literally is, we have always done it in cubic feet, not cubic yards. And also, it was voted on that we were at $569 per annum, not 569.39. So it's just very small movements, and then we just want to make sure that the documentation is appropriate. Mr. O'Neill.
Yeah, so I think it needs to be changed the way that it's being worded and said, because there's a difference between, as you just stated, cubic feet and, cubic yards. You can still use cubic yards if you want to, but you just got to compute everything into cubic yards. You know what I mean? So, but it's normally, done in cubic feet. So again, just the language, one word, cubic yards, cubic feet. So it's not a big deal just to change yards to feet.
Mr. Chairman, again, I'm going to see if my Star Wars moment here will be that I'll just use the force and not the computer for a moment here. Is that, again, the minutes don't have to refer to either feet or yards, right? We don't have to be so specific in the minutes. There was a discussion, the body had a discussion regarding the annual sewer charges, right? The actual result of what it did occurs in the motion and in the vote of that motion. And so we can be more general, so we can avoid future ambiguity. But the correction is correct. I just think there's a better way of doing it, and I can pull up these minutes. I don't have my hard copy of it. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll put that. So the action occurred in item number 6 in last month, in that meeting. And can you restate your amendment for me? I want to see if we can address it this way.
Sure, I made a motion to amend Section 6.2, under old business, it reads to establish and/or revise charges in connection with and the use of the sewage system, residential rate of $569 per annum. Commercial rate, $7.13 per cubic strike word yards, and add feet.
Okay, when you say 6.2,
That's
I'm
on-
looking at the agenda items, so
Okay, so-
it says item 6, and then you go down to 2.
there's no section of, I think in order to correct that and to get to Mr. Glad's point, yes, I do think we could address it this way.
You could make a recommendation, and then I could say, so moved,
Yes.
and it would be done.
I would say, in the minutes, it's not 6.2, just in section 6 of the minutes, because the minutes don't actually, it's not, we're not addressing the agenda, we're addressing the minutes. The minutes just simply refer to it as section 6.
So you'd prefer just to say under old business?
Correct.
No, we're on the minutes.
Under section 6. not-
Under section 6, under old business, you want me to read it again?
No, it's not. We're on item 2 of this agenda, right? So it's under section 2 of the approval of minutes.
Yes.
You're referring to section 6 of the minutes.
Right. So it's another, change your 6.2 to section 6.
So moved.
I'll second that one. That's,
I think I'm middle seconder, so I think I got a second.
all right, Mr. O'Neill can second that one.
Thank you.
You can both second it.
So we have a motion to amend by Ms. Shake. We have a second by Mr. O'Neill. Now I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes as amended. Oh, is there any discussion?
Just as a point of clarification, because in my original motion, I did not strike the 39 cents. So would there have to be a second motion to amend
The 39.
for the rate?
Ms. Shake, you did, I believe your motion
I
to amend was...
said it, but I didn't say strike. I'm just being transparent for that $569.
No, yeah. Your motion was to correct the minutes to reflect the accurate amounts that voted upon by the body at that meeting.
Yes.
Although you
So
were
we're-
specific as to certain sections, you weren't. I think based on this discussion, that there's enough clarity in the action that the body is trying to accurately reflect in its minutes, its action regarding the proper amounts.
Wonderful.
Yes. And
Thank you.
this should be the hardest thing we do tonight.
Again, we have a motion to amend. We have a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes as amended. Oh, sorry. All in favor?
Aye.
Now, we're looking for a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
I'll move to approve the minutes as.
Mr. Glad, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Gibson? Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll put it to a vote. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Is there any opposed? Moving right along. Report from the town engineer is item number 3. If you don't mind, Mr. Casey, we're gonna hold off till we get to our action items. Item number 4 is a report from the WPCA plant superintendent. If you don't mind, Mr. Hyde, there's no action items, and we had a busy night.
No, we do not have any action items this week.
Thank you. Item 5, report from the town attorney. Do you have anything else to add?
Nothing else to add, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Item 6 is old business. Item 1 is in regard to the 526 Ave sewer connection. This time, I'm going to ask Mr. Casey, if you don't mind, can you go over the 2 action items?
Action item A is for 526 Avenue, where the WPCA had previously approved a connection of 13 units to connect to the town of Stratford's sewer system. However, those units were modified so that they're including some additional bedrooms within those units. So the developer has sent a new request to have that approval modified to the current plan, and that plan is phase 1 of their project at 526S. It includes 8 one-bedroom units and 4 12-bedroom units, and a commercial space, which was, part of the previous approval. The change in bedroom count made the flow rate from the development somewhat increased. It's a minor increase. The total flow they would be proposing in phase 1 would be 3,220 gallons per day on the average daily flow, based on their estimated, based on the bedroom counts. So they are seeking that approval.
Thank you.
And I could jump to B.
Please do,
Which
just to
is-
cover everything.
Yeah, for the same project, the developer has an alternative plan to potentially go to the City of Bridgeport sewer system instead of the town of Stratford sewer system. So if that were to take place, then the approval that we give in A wouldn't happen because they'd be going to Bridgeport. But the City of Bridgeport is looking for the town's consent that it's okay for this development to go into the City of Bridgeport sewer system. And I believe in the meantime, the applicant has been discussing the potential for connecting to the City of Bridgeport. So I guess it's not 100% certain which way it'll go, so they're looking for our approval to modify their previous approved connection in Stratford, but ultimately they may go to Bridgeport depending on if they get approval.
Thank you. So at this time, we're going to stick to item 1A on the old business and discuss the potential increase in sewage flow, which, as Mr. Casey said, was very minor. I'm looking for a motion to approve the 526 Ave requested modification for Phase 1, discharge to Town of Stratford Sewer.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Aurelia.
I move that we approve the modification to Phase 1 of the 526 Avenue project.
Mr. Chairman, I second.
Mr. Llewellyn. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. O'Neill.
Yeah, so I asked previously, and I'm not sure if we're able to get the information yet, but I wanted to know where we were in terms of capacity. What volume are we at right now, versus, our capacity since we just, established a new system some years ago, and people keep adding to the system, so I don't know if that's for part of this, but I think, for me it would be, because we got Shelton stuff coming in, so I'm just curious to where we are in terms of capacity.
So I think we've talked about this, a few times in the past. The town's treatment facility and collection facility has adequate capacity in its current state. And you can see in Tom's reports, he gives you every month, we're always, below what our design flow is on an average amount. So, we always say that there's capacity left and, for connections. There are times when the system becomes overloaded, when we're having a bad rainstorm, for instance. We have a separate projects that we're trying to root out clean stormwater connections to the town sanitary sewer system. As much clean water as we can take out of the system, that leaves that available capacity, you know, in the treatment and collection system available for connection. We've been somewhat successful in getting some of that out over the last, 5 years. We've been trying to implement another round of keeping that inflow and infiltration of clean water out of the sanitary sewer system. As far as Sheldon's concerned, when the town, you know, sized the treatment plant and the pump stations in its recent improvements, or not so recent, but our most recent improvements, we budgeted for the city of Shelton to provide a certain amount of flow, and they're currently under that amount of flow. But just like Shelton and just like Stratford, the more we approve, the more we're eating up our available capacity. So at some point, Shelton continues to develop and continues to add to the flow, they'll eat up their available capacity, and same for Stratford. So I think as we are today, we have capacity, and in the future, amounts could eat into that capacity.
So, I mean, that's good, you know, in the terminology that we're to capacity. But there should be a number associated with whatever capacity we're at. And if it's in his report, you know, then I'll look at the report. But if it's not, then
It's not a fixed number. It varies from day to day, from hour to hour, from
right. But when
sunny to rainy.
when it was designed for a certain
Right.
amount of flow.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
It's designed for 11.5 million gallons per day, and we are always under that. And if you look at the reports from Tom, they're always under, and it's stated in the report.
yeah, that's what I said. I'll look. I didn't
Yeah.
see it, so I will look. Sorry to take up your time.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Again, amongst the WPCA, I want to stick to the 520 access road, and we're looking for a motion. We had a motion and a second to approve a small increase in flow for this one particular property, so if we could just keep on that. And then, is there any more discussion, any more questions?
Through you, Chair.
Ms. Gibson?
My question is how come it's just singled out to the 520, that one unit?
Because that's the action item tonight.
Excuse me, I know
Tonight,
that, I
yeah,
mean,
but
has
we're
it-
focusing on the action items tonight.
I understand that, so I guess I should ask my question differently. Has there been any other problems with other units, or no? I mean, what's the difference between this unit?
No, it's just that the owner has asked for a modification to their previous approval. So
okay.
we're
I missed that.
responding to that request.
Okay, thank you.
And to paraphrase Mr. Casey, a very minor increase, so. Any more discussion on 520 Success Ave? Mr. Green?
Thank you. Through the chair, I just want to make sure I get that this is one motion, but it looks like we're approving basically their ability to connect to Stratford and to Bridgeport, so we're giving them the flexibility here to do either. Is that the intent?
That's incorrect. We're looking at just item A right now, and then we'll be voting on B next.
I understand they're separate, but in that it's for the same property, we're approving them to connect to Stratford and Bridgeport to give them the optionality. I'm making sure I understand how these two separate decisions work together, because it's the same property, so it's a related decision. If someone could speak to that.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay.
They already have approval for Stratford, but in the meantime, they are looking for approval for Bridgeport.
We're giving them the flexibility to build more units in Stratford and connect to Stratford if they like, and we're also allowing them, if it's better for them, to connect to Bridgeport. That's what these two separate decisions will do. Thank you.
Again, any more discussion on item 1A? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Mr. Frias is opposed. Item 1B in old business. is in reference to the developer attempting to connect to the sewer to the Bridgeport as an alternative route for this development. I'm looking for a motion to approve the sewer connection of this building to the Bridgeport Public Sewer with the condition that the Bridgeport WPCA accepts.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Mr. Chair, I'll second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Mr. Green?
Thank you. Through the chair, I appreciate that part of the reason this was tabled last time was we were asking for clarity on the net of this arrangement, and that if they do connect to Bridgeport in Stratford, they pay us the sewer tax, but then we pay Bridgeport based on the actual usage, their tax. The question last time was, what's the net of that? And I appreciate that Mr. Timniak did get back and was able to, you also, I think, were on that communication. Did you get that information as well to share?
I think everybody who made the attempt to talk to Mr. Timniak got the confirmation that we are not in a deficit with that.
Yeah, over the last few years, it seemed like slightly in our favor, but it less about it being money-making and just making sure, in the very least, it's not a detriment to our finances to do this. So appreciated Mr. Timniak doing the work on that. When it comes to sewers, there's two pieces. There's the sewer tax and there's the connection fee. In this case, if they're connecting to Bridgeport, who would they pay the connection fee to?
They would not owe a connection charge in Stratford if they connect to Bridgeport.
Okay.
I'm not sure what Bridgeport does.
Okay, so so it would be entirely, the connection fee would go to Bridgeport. The owners of the property would pay the sewer tax to us based on whether it's residential or commercial, because there's a mix of them here, and then we would pay Bridgeport based on their rates and actual usage. Okay. When it comes to connection fees on these projects, how are they considered in our budget? And I don't know if anyone here can answer to that. Where do they go in our budget? Because it is something that's difficult to budget for. We have several 100+ unit developments that have been 3 years in the making around town. Where do those sewer connection fees go?
It's not in, it's not a budget item. It's deposited into the sewer revolving fund,
Okay.
which is not a user fund account.
And is the status of that fund reported out to this committee?
I'm not sure what reports you get.
Well, I
On
just,
it would be
I
a
mean,
financial report, so I'm not sure what you
Yeah.
get from them.
just to the chair, I mean, with the several hundred units of projects going on around town, it is up millions of dollars of budgeting that's kind of outside of our standard budget thing. So it may be good for us to have at least semi-regular, maybe quarterly reports on the status of that fund. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, I just ask everybody to stick to the 520 Success Ave.
Through you, Chair. So I was just looking up the property. So is the property, it's actually, is it a one-family, or what's the unit?
This property was a commercial property, and it's being converted to apartments with some
Oh, I
commercial
see.
use.
Okay. So the building itself is on the town line. It's on Stratford and Bridgeport line. Does the line go through the property?
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
does.
And some of some,
The reason I ask is because the zip codes are different. None of them are 06614 or 15.
yeah, some of the front of the building is in Bridgeport, so it's the rear part that's in Stratford.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any more questions or discussion? Seeing none, let's put it to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed?
Opposed?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I oppose, and I'll clarify my no. I always refer to the councilmen in their districts, and so I assume that the councilman in their district knows what's best for their district. So however the councilman in that district wants to vote, I will vote the same way.
Thank you. So that's 6-3.
I'm not satisfied that it's a Stratford property.
Approved and so moved, 6-3. Oh. 7-3. Oh. It's been a long day. Yeah. Thank you all. So, item number 2, I believe we've addressed. So I'd like a motion to strike this from the agenda.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
We have a second?
A second.
Mr. Afria, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? So moved. Item number 7, adjournment.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Green?
Second.
Oh, yeah, too. Mr. Llewellyn, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.